Welcome back. Being your own boss sounds like a cool way to make a living, but you'll want to answer a lot of questions before starting your own business. Ellen Rohr is a business expert who helped take your family business from $0 to $40 million in sales. So impressive. And you say that the first step is trying to figure out what product you want. And that kind of sounds simple. You know, what is your business going to be? But that's really important.
Well, yes, and it takes a little bit of time. So I brought a timer.
Okay.
You know, you may not have a weekend. I've written some books, how to write a business plan in a weekend, or take a few weeks and figure out what you want. What about an hour? Could you just carve out an hour a day and give yourself the luxury of thinking about what you really, really want? Because if you want more money, one way is to tighten the belt, and you guys are great at giving us tips for getting by on less. Right. But what about making more money? Well, if you're over 30, you're going to run out of time on investments, and another job may or may not be a great option for you. A business of your own might be the best way for you to raise the ceiling in the family fortune. So think about what you really, really want. And maybe it's the idea of business that appeals to you, and maybe the product, well, it could be one thing or the other. But think about what your dreams are and give them some time to blossom. Okay, so then once you do, you've got to move it from thought to reality. Now, are you on Pinterest? Have you been to Pinterest?
Yes, I have.
Okay, now this is wild, this Pinterest thing. But on Pinterest is a great place to go. Oprah, you talked about Oprah earlier. On the OWN network, you can find a place to create a vision board. You can, you know, craft. This is like some of the things I want to have happen in my life. Now, what it does is it moves it from thought form to physical form, and writing it helps, but pictures are great. So think about what you want and get clear on what your business and what your life integrated would look like. Okay. But now we got to get down to brass tacks. All right, so inside the binder, and a little binder like this can really drive things. Here's my business plan binder. This is where you're going to put the...
Well, yours is super cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. A friend of mine made that. He's a tattoo artist, and he made that binder for me because I helped him with his business. All right, so I brought mine to show off. But any binder will do. If it inspires you, put your vision board on the front. And then in the inside, this is the to-dos. This is, you know, your goals. You put your budget in here, your marketing plan. Spend an hour a day and try and flesh out that binder. Move it from thought form to physical form. Now
you got something that is one of my favorite things right over here. And
you
this
identified
is very important.
that. Yes.
Yeah, I noticed it. I'll just hang on to it while you talk about it. How about?
Well, this is why I brought the money. Because this is all about money.
Oh, you're taking it back.
You're having a hard time giving that back. All right, so what business is all about making money. And we got to get over the idea that, oh, I don't want to make sales, you know, money will follow. No, just deal with the money. And so you could put a little budget together and put it in your business plan. And a budget works like this. If I want to spend this much money on myself, on my team, on the product, then I have to create sales bigger than that. That's a budget. So
that's
if we
a really
know,
simple way of looking at it.
Start with what you want to spend, and then come up with what would the top line for sales have to be to cover that. And now you've got a goal. You could break that up by day, by month, but now you start to think about what could I do to add value to people's lives that would allow me to charge more than it costs. So if you've got a great idea, run with it. If you're thinking about what's a type of business that would be great, might I suggest, I brought these for you.
You're going to suggest a new business for me, huh?
I am going to suggest a new business.
What is this going to be? It's going to be messy, whatever it is.
I'm a big fan of Glove Up.
Or a doctor. I don't know, either one.
Yeah, now doctor might take a little bit of schooling, right? But if you are willing to do a dirty job, somebody is always going to pay you to do that. Good economy, bad economy. There are people out there right now in any economy with money who would rather not do things like clean their house, power wash for the spring, do their landscaping, walk their dogs, clean up after their dogs, right? You know, if it's a dirty job, cleaning.
And you might not want to do it, but you got to think about what you want, and this outweighs your desire to clean toilets or not clean. Or like that.
If that's what you're looking for. Now, if you have an idea to create, like our next guest, Andrea, to create a fashion empire, if that's what you really, really want to do, do that. If you're not sure, consider what the needs are in the market and see if you can make a little bit of money. Now,
so something you're passionate about. You could either do something that there's a need for, something that you're passionate about.
Yep.
Okay.
Or something that people need, and the passion part comes from the money, the business. That part of it really turns you on.
Yeah.
So any of those things can be a reason to drive the business. I really think there's no wrong in any of this. If you have been inspired to think, well, maybe I should try a business of my own, I'm encouraging you to do that because it can happen. You know, can we brag on someone who's really successful in business right now? Have you heard of Susie Blakely? She's the Spanx lady.
Well, everybody knows about Spanx.
Okay.
Body
Spanx.
Shaping.
Yeah.
Clothing.
Okay, her intention when she started her business was to get rid of panty lines under the smooth fitting clothes. Yeah, right? So she started this thing called Spanx. She just topped the $1 billion mark, first woman to do so in a business of her own. And it was a modest start to you know, a product that served a need.
That's impressive. Now, what about debt? You talk about debt.
I'm a big fan of have your customers pay you right out of the gate. So if you put your business plan together, maybe you can do it in a weekend. Maybe you could take a couple weeks to put it together and you've got your plan. Might I suggest that you sell something fast? Get your customers to fund the growth of your business. Have you watched that show, Shark Tank?
Yes.
It's on another channel. Is that okay?
We don't have to mention that, but there is a show called Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. Yeah, you got it. Okay, but on Shark Tank, one of the first questions those venture capitalists ask is, how much have you sold? Right?
So you got to sell right out of the gate to fund your own company instead of just expecting somebody else to fund you. Eleanor, you have so many things. I know so many more things to talk about, and you've written several books, so people can get a lot more information about you and the books that you've written by going to barebonesbiz.com. Of course, that's also on our website, ozarksfirst.com. Thank you so much.
Now, I'll take the money, but you can keep these.
Oh, great. Thanks a lot.
There you go.
Out of all the things, that would be my choice, right? Up next, it's getting kids to try something new. It's not always easy.